Alright, we got a 6L80 I'm building for a guy. I wanted to show you guys if you're having some 6L80 problems. You know, the most common thing is a torque converter going bad with them. It wipes out the pump, and you've probably already done some investigating, you know the story, but I'm going to show you. I buy AC Delco pump stators. I like to use them. We've already got the pump body, the gears, and all that. We've already got it together, but I just wanted to bring it in here. It wasn't scarred up at all, but this is the pump out of it. You'll see a little bit of scarring right here on this pump. I used to take these things apart and put new gaskets back here, because they talk about the gaskets back here leaking over, cross leaking. We used to put new gaskets on there, and we would take them, take the dowel out, and we'd go have them shaved down, and then we would shim behind them and make the pump work. But then we got to running into other issues. We would put a new PR valve in. I'm on the wrong side. A new PR valve in, and you know, that would take care of that problem. The biggest issue is with the pressure regulator valves. They are known for wearing the actual valve, and I will show you. You can see how bad this pressure regulator valve is worn on this not this one here, but on a transmission that I just did. It was worn really bad. I'll pull the one out of this one real quick, and we'll see what it looks like. Like I said, I'm going to replace this stator, so it doesn't matter what it looks like, because I'm going to replace it. But just to kind of show you what happens to these, this one looks pretty good. It's not bad. A person could probably put a new pressure regulator valve in there and be just fine with it, an updated version. But we're not going to. We're going to put a whole new pump stator, just because of this little groove. But by the time I put gaskets, have this shaved down, put the shims, put the regulator, I'm not too far off from just being able to buy a new stator. So if you shop around, you can find these stators on eBay and stuff, and their price not too bad, you know. So if you pull the pan off your transmission, your 6L80, and you want to know if you got some torque converter problems, I'm going to show you just every one of them that I pull apart. Just about every one of them look like this right here. You see that fine steel? That is a sure sign that something is coming apart, and I'm telling you, just about every time it comes back to being the torque converter. I have had a couple that I've pulled the pan off of, and it looked like this, and it was actually metal to metal, and the clutches had worn down and been metal to metal, you know, on the clutch plates. But most of the time, it's your pump giving you the issue, or your torque converter, and it tears up your pump, and between the two, you start getting that metal in there. I'm going to open up this pump, this stator. I want to show you what comes in this box. If you go to do this yourself or something, you want to try to replace this yourself. You know, you get it apart, you'll want to inspect this first, because you don't want to buy this stator until you get it apart, to make sure that you're not grooved in here. If it's grooved in here, you're going to have to buy both pieces. But if it's not grooved in here, then you can just rebuild this, and then when you get your new stator, you can just put it together. I'm going to show you what comes in this box with this new pump. You got the seals that you need. You got your O-ring. Here is the pump O-ring to reseal back down to your case. These here going into your valve body, and this one goes in the case. These goes in the end of the valve body and go up against the pump right here. This kit, pretty much, this pump usually comes with everything that you will need to replace it with and get it sealed up and back together. So right here in this little kit, this is a must. This is if your converter's going bad and you go to replace your converter, if you're not going to go as deep as pulling the pump apart, if you're saying, I'm just putting a converter in it and see what happens, at least replace this O-ring. Get online and find this O-ring. It goes on the input shaft. You'll want to replace that O-ring. That holds the pressure for your lockup. So you'll want to make sure that you put that O-ring. It comes with a front seal. You have spacer for the back of the pump, and then you have seals for these seals here are for your connector that goes through for your valve body, for your electronics for the valve body, is what those seals are. And then you have the rings. All of the pumps that I ordered have always came with this stuff already on them, but it's nice to have it. It's there if one of them would happen to get broke or something through shipping or them putting the pump together, you know, that they could have broke something. I always look them over just to make sure that they didn't and that everything is on there. You know, maybe they just forgot to put one in there, but there's the pump stator. Let me get this stuff out of the way. All right. Your new pump stator is going to come with new valves already in place. You don't have to worry about anything, valves or anything like that. I always look at everything just to make sure that someone didn't make a mistake and leave something out or something didn't happen through shipping. You see the rings, your sealing rings on the back of the stator. You can see that the spacer, the thrust washer is in place, and everything looks pretty good. So, you know, on these pumps, what I used to do when we first started fooling with them, started building them and things, you know, I would check with a vacuum for cross leak. You can do that if you're worried about your pressure regulator valve. You can hook a vacuum test up to it and check for a cross leak on it. But truthfully, if it's got a groove in it there, I would just buy a new pump stator and not have to worry about it. So like I said, you can find these online pretty much about anywhere. I think Amazon and eBay, those two places, you could probably find that AC Delco pump stator. I don't know about any other companies, whether or not they put all this other hardware in their pumps. I have no clue, because all I've ever bought is AC Delco. So you might shop around and look and see what all comes with them. But this one comes with everything to put the pump stator together. Now, if you need to know the torque specs or anything on this transmission, go to 6L80 PDF. It'll pop up, and you'll go into that site, and they'll have all the breakdown. Also, Global Transmission has all the specs for this transmission on their website, so you might go to that. But anyway, I hope this video helps you.